Turn my dreams into reality, oh, and I can say it makes my soul complete,
Hello, hello, my fellow creatures. Since I did Generation 4 of My Little Pony, I decided to do Generation 5. So, to keep it balanced. And just a clarification while doing these redesigns, this is not fixing of any kind of way, even though I really didn't like the show and altogether. This is more of what the characters will look like in my universe. So just keep that in mind. Alright, let's get started. So, starting off with Sunny Stark Scout, which, yeah, that's her name. So, starting off with her, I decided to make her as like an engineer, just like the other pony. I forgot her name was, but I decided to make her as an engineer. I feel like it makes more sense than having her to do smoothies as a talent. It didn't make sense to me, especially with the cutie mark that she had, which I don't understand why these characters cutie mark didn't match with their names or what they do. I feel like they just completely just put the cutie mark there and then just did whatever they wanted. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how other people feel. I tried different hairstyles. The first hairstyle I tried was the hairstyle I saw in their original design, but I feel like it fits more if she was younger. So I decided to go for a different approach. I decided to do one long ponytail instead of just removing the braid that she has in her ponytail, and I decided to have these side bangs on the side of each side of her hair. As trying different hairstyles, that was the one that I feel like it fits the most. So that's what I did. Next up, I was trying to do different cutie marks that fits her. And the big mistake while doing these characters of the ponies is that I didn't come up with the name first before doing the cutie mark. I just did the cutie mark, the character, and then come up with a name. So it was a little bit hard for me. I tried to match up with the original name of Sunny Star Scout. So I put the star in a sunshine kind of way and put a little heart gear in the middle. Like I said, I wanted her to be more of like an engineer type of pony and use her talent to go up against the other pony who also does engineering. I thought that it will fit best, and as she also tries to, do the same thing that her father used to do, is discover about history, the truth about history. And she uses her talents to try to help the ponies understand the other type of ponies that's out there. So as you can see, I'm trying different cutie marks to see how I feel. I try to match up with what I was trying to go for, and it was difficult. But I even did a Google search of different ideas of cutie marks to see which one fits best. And towards the end, I just end up going with the first design that I have created, which is the star and the little heart gear that's in the middle. I figure since the bag is covering the cutie mark, I decided to have the cutie mark on the left side so that you can see what it looks like without having for me to remove the bag that I added to her character design. As I'm doing the line work here, my idea of Sunny was, like I said, that her talent is engineering, but she wants to pursue of finding and discovering about the original history of her kind. And the reason she's doing that is because she her father used to do that, and I figured that to pursue her father's, uh, pursue what her father does and figure out the truth, that is something that she will be doing. She uses her talent to help the ponies, trying to understand. So when she creates these gears, she creates in the purpose of helping every type of pony as possible, as her competition does kind of the opposite. What she does is that she tries to create engineering stuff to help protect their own kind, um, instead of actually doing what Sunny does, in my opinion. So right here, I'm trying different color schemes. I didn't like how the hair didn't really I didn't like the hair, to be honest, but I did like the coat. So I decided to keep the coat and try different hairstyles as best as I can. Um, at first, I did try a yellow hair to indicate the star and stuff like that, but it turns out I didn't like it, and I even changed the coat to red to see how it looks, and I didn't like that either. I tried many different ways. I didn't try to stick to one thing like I did originally when I did the Generation 4. So as I was going through it, I did end up getting across to liking one type of design that I did, and I tried to implement that to try to come up with like a little line across it. I feel like it fits best, and that's what I came up with. Um, the character, I changed the name like I did with all my other redesigns. I changed the name to Starla Tech. Um, so yeah, uh, Starla for the star of the cutie mark that she has, and Tech because she does techno engineering thingy mabob and stuff like that. Uh, some of these names that I did with the redesign, I did had help, but with Starlet Tech, I didn't have help with the name. I just came up with it and stick to it. To be honest, I might change the name later on, because I feel like it needs to be changed, and possibly the cutie mark once I figure out the connection and stuff. But right now, this is all I got in the long run. As you see here, I'm just doing the shading and lighting around the character. And yeah, I think that would be it. So that is Starla Tech, as you can see here on the screen. Next up is Izzy Moonbow. Izzy Moonbow reminds me of Pinkie Pie a lot, and just have the creativity like Rarity. I think when they created Izzy, they created her to be the combination of the two. But in the long run, they did make her unique from Rarity, where Rarity is just more of a fashion clothes designer, as Izzy is more of like one of those DIYs crafting person. So when I was creating Izzy, it was a little bit difficult. I had this first idea where she had like little pins on her hair, and then I was like, let me try something different, maybe have her hair straight, but I didn't like it straight, to be honest, so I went back to being the curly little hair that I had first. I added a little choker on her, a crafted choker that she probably created herself. And then I decided to came up with something a little bit different, maybe like a hippie type of pony. So I added like I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it was called, but the hat piece, and I tried different hat pieces, keeping with the curliness of her hair. It's not really curly; it's like more like wavy type of style. But you guys get what I mean. I'm pretty sure you guys get what I mean. But I didn't like the other styles. I sticked with the first one I did with the the crochet pins in her hair, and I tried doing the cutie mark next. So when I was doing the cutie mark, I was thinking about her name, and so I added the moon onto the bow with the crochet sticks. But then I decided to change it and maybe add the moon with the buttons and the pin, and the moon as like a pin cushion. I like the idea, but I feel like there should be more added, so I tried adding like a ribbon to it, but then I just scratched it completely and decided to have a plushie of a star, moon, and a with the crochet sticks in the back. I wanted to keep the crochet sticks, but no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't do it. So I sticked with the moon plushie pillow with the pin cushions and the buttons towards the end. When I was thinking about Izzy, I was thinking more of her personality being able to craft things and stuff, but I decided to add a little twist where I came up with the idea where Izzy is blind. So she has a talent of crafting things and able to know her surroundings with like insight. Like think of it like pinky sense. You know how Pinky has like this little pinky sense? Well, think of it something like that. I decided for Izzy to be able to be blind and have the sense, because she was blind all her life. She gotten used to and know how to get around her surroundings and know how things are with her little incense. As you see here, I'm trying to do different coats. I decided to try the original, Izzy colors, and then I went from the normal Izzy colors to just coming up with other colors as best as I can. I saturated the coats a little bit more and desaturated the blue hair. Let's get more into Izzy. So in the show, Izzy is very hyper, like Pinkie Pie, but not as hyper as Pinkie Pie. I feel like in my universe, Izzy would be more mellow, not very like hyper. More like I said, like I wanted originally to have her to be like a hippie, but it didn't turn out so well. So I thought that maybe she'd be like a vegan, calming person, who's like very into crafting and very sensitive to sound. Very sensitive to sound. Before I came up with any more ideas, I just stick to the one that I fell in love with the most and just went with that. So yeah, that's my Izzy, and instead of having to come up with, not come up with, but like instead of Izzy finding the piece of paper that Sunny has released as a child, I thought maybe Izzy was just wanting to explore, and she didn't think anything of it of why the ponies are against each other. Let's say she was raised by like a little bit of an orphan, so she didn't have parents around, and she didn't learn the history or understand the history that was given. She was more so she was just exploring, and then she ended up in the town where she knows that there's different type of ponies there. She's aware there's different type of ponies, but she didn't think anything of it. She just walked around and was like, oh look, there's more people outside my town, type of deal. That's my idea of what's going on and how Sunny and Izzy met. As you see here, I'm doing the shadow and lighting of what I came up with, and yeah, that is my idea of Izzy Moonbow. So I changed the name to Azorio Moon. So I hope you like her as much as I did. Lastly, we got Hitch. I decided to do 3 ponies in one video and do another 3 in another video. So just a little side note, I should have mentioned in the beginning, but I'm mentioning it now. So here we go. So Hitch was one of the first male main characters that I've noticed. So it was a little bit difficult. I tried different hairstyles that would match him. So as I'm trying different hairstyles, I tried to give it a male vibe, but like in a sense where like it's supposed to be very handsome and stuff, whatever, those boring stuff. I've noticed that in the beginning of the movie that there was a lot of pictures on the calendar where Hitch is posing in different ways. I'm guessing it's supposed to indicate how he's supposed to be very handsome and possibly very cocky. But I never got that cockiness when watching the movie. I got more of a different vibe to him. Very like following laws and very persistent of like doing the right thing. So I try to come up with different cutie marks. It was hard for me to come up with these cutie marks because I wanted to put the animal vibe to him, but I decided, you know what, my character is not going to associate with animals. We're not going to do that. We already had a character before where the character is associated with animals, which was Fluttershy, and I just later on decided to remove the paw prints from the cutie mark. But I did wanted to keep the hooves of indicate of strength. I tried to implement where he's like strong on his loyalty. He's strong with the rules and sticks by it. He's not a rule breaker. He doesn't like breaking rules like it shows in the show. But I decided, unlike the show, that he doesn't associate with animals at all. I feel like I know the reason why they made him associate with animals to begin with in the show, and I didn't like the idea, so I decided to scratch it off with my version. In my version, so the character's name Hitch. I forgot to mention that. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's Hitch Trailblazer, and I didn't know the last name was Trailblazer until I was looking it up on Google, and I was very surprised because I don't think it mentioned in the movie nor the show that his last name was Trailblazer, which was very interesting to me. So when I did Hitch, I tried to stick, as I was doing this redesign, I tried to stick to the the idea that I had for the universe where the character has certain patterns and stuff indicating depending of what type of pony they are. So I try to indicate that into these redesigns as best as possible. And Hitch, I wanted him to be like a rule follower and stuff, but I also wanted him to be cocky. Like he's very full of himself in certain ways. I wanted to keep that because I thought maybe that would have been a good idea and makes more sense why he has a bunch of calendars of himself in different outfits and poses. So that's what my idea was. So this is Marshall Iron Will. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and if you like these redesigns, please let me know in the comments down below. It was very difficult. I tried my best as I can, as I'm not good with redesigning myself without having to really implement the actual colors or pose or whatever to the original characters, but I did try my best. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys like this video or the next video I'm going to be posting up in the next 3, please let me know in the comments down below, and I might do more for other characters in different shows. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys later. Bye!
Yeah, they come alive in the nighttime, but they go away when the sun rises. But they find their way back home. They're never all alone. Sometimes I think it's life is